What's going on, y'all? So today I want to talk about the real estate business again, man. I'm always getting people, they ask me questions, and I kind of want to give somewhat of an analogy of how the real estate business is. Because again, 90%, man, 90% of agents fail and this is within a year. So it's January 1st. You got 10 agents. By the time you get to December, New Year's Eve, you're only having one left. So, I mean, there's a likelihood of you failing is high. And they fail because they don't know what they're getting themselves into. By the time they realize it, it's too late. Or they never realize it and they just quit, and then they say real estate doesn't work or some shit like that. Real estate works if you work. So real estate, think about the real estate business like sports. Think about being a salesman like sports. Like, think about it. In some sense, I like to look at myself, as a athlete, as an athlete of business, of to some extent. And let me think, because think about it. In sports and real estate, think about who are the best players in the game, or ever, even. MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Steph, KD. What? If you ask anybody who played with them, what would they tell you? They work hard. They work hard. We hear it. Mamba mentality. We seen it. I know you saw The Last Dance. How psychopathic Michael Jordan was. How, we all know Kobe probably gonna have his documentary come out, and maybe in a decade or so, and we'll see the behind the scenes of how psycho and a lunatic he was. We understand it. You see the difference, and this is the W-2 mindset versus the business mindset. When you're coming into this business, you have to. If you don't have a business mindset, that's okay. I didn't have a business mindset before I came into real estate. But the thing is, I understood that I had to adopt that business mindset in order to be successful. A lot of people adopt the employee mindset in real estate. That's why they're not successful. Their only focus is on the commission, the next deal. Where's the next deal coming from? They're only talking about how many buyer clients they have. They're only talking about how many open houses, or how this client canceled, or how many showings they have. They're not being strategic. They're not thinking about it. Think about it. It's the same thing in sports. If all you're worried about is how many points you scored, is the team going to be good? No. If all you're worrying about is how many rebounds, your stats, and all that stuff, no, the team's not going to be good. The team's going to be horrible. The team's going to be horrible. Same thing when it comes to winning in real estate and sports. It comes to getting better. You got to get better. You got to work on your game. You have to work on your game. These basketball players, they don't just come in and go to the gym and just ball out. That's what a lot of real estate agents do. They just come in and just wing it, and just kind of go at it. They're not being strategic with what they want to get better at. Maybe there's a player that wants to get better in basketball. You see how strategic, or just sports in general, you see how strategic they are. And the best ones are the most strategic. They work on this type of shot. People like KD, Dirk, they stand on one foot. Steve Nash, they stand on one foot. They're off balance because they want to make sure their shot is good on this, in this angle in a game, because this is the type of shot they might be shooting in the game. They do all those weird, crazy things to prepare themselves. Real estate agents, the good ones, do the same thing. When they prospect, they may have role play partners, or maybe they role play with themselves. They have scripts, they read them, they rehearse, they practice over and over again. Okay, if I'm sitting in an appointment and I'm talking to a client and the client says this, how do I respond to that? What type of things? I do it when I'm on the phone. I'm doing it more. I don't do it as much as I should, but I'm doing it more. When I'm on the phone and I'm talking to somebody and somebody says something that stumps me, I write it down. Oh, what they say. Most agents, first of all, they don't even call. And when they are getting success on the calls, they look at it and say, oh, nobody wants to answer today. Nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to do that. No, that's not what it is. It's you aren't working on your game. You weren't working on your game. Think about it. And the ones that are around for a while, maybe they work on their game, but they don't adapt. Think about it. If you played basketball in the early 2000s, you didn't have to be a great three-point shooter. You could have done anything. Now, today, you won't see the court if you can't shoot. The game has changed. The same thing is with that with real estate. Now, yes, some things stay the same no matter what, just like anywhere, but things adapt, things change. The agents that fail, they don't change. So they kind of stay stagnant. The agents that are good, they adapt. They work on their game. They practice. They practice their scripts. They practice their appointments. They go in there. They're not trying to sit there going in an appointment and just winging it. No, they go into the appointment and they say, all right, man, I want this appointment to last no longer than 30 minutes, no longer than 20 minutes. This is what I'm going to say. They're going to sit there and have a partner go over their whole lines and what they're going to say. This is what we're going to go over. They go over that thing for hours, days, forever. They're always going over it and finding out, oh, damn, I could have said this. Okay, they cross off a word in their script and change it and say, okay, I can say this. They're that meticulous with it. The agents that aren't, they just kind of go at it and run after every potential client that they may get. Or they're paying Zillow, hoping and praying that somebody from Zillow wants to buy a house. And it's like, no, the agents who win, they are meticulous. They're not thinking, where's my next deal going to come from? They already know where their next deal is going to come from. They already know. They're not, or they don't know when or where it's going to come from. Let me not say that, but they know it's coming. They know that if they stay the course and work on their game, everything is going to follow. They're not sitting there saying, I hope I get a list. No. They're saying, if I make X amount of calls and I talk to X amount of people, my conversion ratios during the percentages, like they track their numbers, they track their stats. Like it's the same thing. If you're a basketball player, baseball player, doesn't matter. How you going to know you're getting better if you don't track your stats? If you shot 50% from the free throw line, well, how would you know that if nobody was tracking that? If nobody was tracking that, recording your field goal percentage, your free throw percentage every game, how could you know what you have to go back in the lab and work on? You won't. You won't. Everybody knows Russell Westbrook isn't a great three-point shooter because we see his numbers. They track his numbers. So now when Russell Westbrook goes in the gym, as he should be like, okay, my three-point percentages weren't great. What do I got to work on? Agents do the same thing. Okay, when I talk to this lead, when I talk to for sale by owners, I get this amount of appointments. I get this amount of leads. When I talk to absentee owners, I get this amount of leads. When I talk to downsizers, I get this amount of leads. When I talk to old expireds, I get this amount of leads. I get this, my lead percentage ratio is this, is this, is this. And then they're meticulous and they make a plan around those numbers, around their percentages, their strengths, their weaknesses, things like that. Agents that win are meticulous like that. Same thing, KD. You see the weird workouts KD does, Dirk does, standing on one foot, turning around sideways, shooting shots, looking sideways, looking at you see it. You see it. That's how meticulous. When it's game time, we may laugh at the workout, but when it's game time and they're dropping 50, everybody's silent. Same thing. The agents that are sitting there looking in the mirror, recording themselves, everybody's walking past them laughing, thinking they're weird. But when they sell 100 houses and you only sold 5, you're not laughing no more. So that's what it is. The agents, it's no different in sports, man. If you want to be a great athlete, you got to get in the lab and work. You got to study. The people who win, they don't just go out there and they watch the people that came before them, watch what they did, study for them, take parts of their game, add it to their game, and improve on what they already are talented at. Same thing. The agents, same thing. The agents who win, they look at the past agents who are good, find bits and pieces from their work, what they did, their business, and apply it to theirs. It's the same thing, man. But back at the crib, man. Appreciate y'all for this quick rant. Don't lose, man. Don't lose, man. I'll see you on the next one.